Alright, what's up, guys? Just gonna do something a little different today. I'm just gonna do a 30-minute video, and it's just basically gonna be my first 30 minutes of practice. I don't know if anybody will find this useful, but I just figured I would just kind of do what I do during the first 30 minutes. It kind of gets me going, and then go from there. So let's do it. I just did dynamic sky, realistic weather. It's all random, so this is just what I got. And I did the track at 29%, so it could act like a couple cars have been on the track, but it's not super rubbered in. So all I have right now is a Road Atlanta setup and go run some laps. I haven't driven this track for a couple years, so I'm gonna start off with best lap right now. Fun track. It's a real hard track to pass on, though. It's kind of one of those tracks you need to wait for somebody to make a mistake. Gotta get my seat figured out here. I kind of like along those lines of like a Brands Hatch or skinny elevation changes. I mean, this is. I know the layout of the track, but I'm basically driving this like I haven't ever driven it because it's been so long. Can pass into the chicane. You just need to get a really good run out of that last corner and have the pass pretty much done before you get here. I just don't like when people dive bomb that chicane. And the last race I can remember doing here was in the old rough GT3, and the only way I passed the guy, we were both really quick, but I just had gotten a lot better at my pit stops than him, so I passed him on the pit stop. This series doesn't have pit stops. Alright. What I'm probably going to do is just a whole bunch of what are your lap times going to be here? Let's just do a lap here, and then we'll try and figure out what I'm going to do after this. Third gear for the first corner. Usually when I'm first figuring out a track, I'm just trying to figure out what gears I'm supposed to be in for the corners. Try and not mess up my braking points, you know, stuff like that. Alright. Off to a great start. I just figured I'd show just like a completely raw, unedited attempt at trying to get up to speed. But I do think it takes me longer than your average person to get up to speed. The spot's kind of hard here too, because you really don't have a spot you can, where you're looking for a braking marker. There's not a lot of the board that tells you to turn, but that's about it. And so up here, I'm going back to focusing on gears. Third gear, or we go to second? Probably stay in third gear. Come up here, second gear. Again, it's really hard to tell when you should start braking there because there's no braking boards. So that time I broke just before that second board. Can definitely move that up a little bit. We'll see if it's true, and I'm done with this track this week, but I do kind of feel like the setup's getting a really good baseline, so you could probably just take this and have a decent setup. to start with anywhere. Where do we brake for the first corner? Do we keep it? No. So we go up to 5th gear. This first second. This has always been kind of a, I don't want to say tricky corner, but to get the most out of it, you gotta run a pretty damn good line. I always do like the way the track dips down in here, but you just gotta be careful you don't do what I did last time, push out too wide and then mess up your braking. And then this is a lot of trail braking through here that I haven't figured out yet. Tires still don't feel like they're fully cooperating yet. So again, 3rd gear, going for a later apex. Yeah, let's see if we can find a braking point here. So just as we start going up the hill, I was paying more attention to my braking than my turning. I have no idea if that was good or not. Don't really think it was. Alright, so here we're going to brake a little bit closer to this second board. Won't brake on it. I broke before it because on it would have been too fast. So that's pretty good. It was a couple of feet before it. And here again, trying to spot something maybe. Okay, no. I was going to use where that curb was to start my braking point, but that was way too early, but that's good now as we can kind of start backing into that. This is bad news all around. That time, got on the brakes right where the blue line was. That seemed like a pretty good braking point there. Fourth gear, 3rd gear, maybe keep it in 4th. Let's try 4th next lap. Looks like we're gonna get up to 5th there, maybe. Again, 3rd, late apex. Feel like the later the better. Without letting it swing out too wide. Alright, now we're gonna go up about 2 cars. There we go, keep it in 3rd, double apex. Later apex on the second one. Alright, so I was like, once we got to that curb on the left, like 2 car lengths up on the hills when I started braking. I'm gonna brake a little bit earlier than I did last time. So you'll see it red, but I should go green on the exit. There we go. Here, we're just gonna start, it's about 1.5 car length in. Definitely go a little bit deeper, maybe like 2 car lengths in, something like that. Again, I'm basing everything off that blue curb on the left when it starts here. I have no idea. So maybe, oh, too much. I was gonna try and brake when that blue curb started again, but that was too late. Again, gonna brake where this blue stops, maybe just a foot or 2 before. Didn't realize what gear I was in, missed my apex, downshifted too late, so it just pushed out. The trick with this up here is this left-hander is having enough security in the, I turned in too soon.
They said you cut the core.
Is having enough security for when the car bends down, the compression, the suspension compresses. You can get on the brakes too and it doesn't get the car all out of whack. And you might be able to tune that out of the car, or you might just have to change your driving style. Don't really know yet. There we go, starting to get that figured out a little bit. Broke a little too late, so I got green early, red out. So I'll go for what I think's 2 car lengths down. It's almost like there's an elevation change in the road, and it's kind of just before that is where I'm gonna start braking. And here I want to brake kind of in the middle of that blue curb, I think. Seems like a pretty good spot to brake. That's what I remember about that corner. So you want to get late apex, but the apex just always feels like it's kind of running away from you. We'll be 5th gear. So you want to see how I'm getting on the brakes, and it's kind of squirting that rear end out right there. Don't want that. But that's kind of a normal thing for that corner, because the way the suspension compresses. Go up to 5th for the first time. Again, trying to get wide out here. And get that late apex. That's a little too wide out. Miss apex. But you also gotta be careful if someone's sticking their nose in there when you go wide like that, so you might not be able to do that in a race situation. It's nice, you can just keep it in 3rd gear through there, no dramas with the gear. Yeah, so it's probably about car length to half a car length before the road falls away is where I'm braking. Then half, I don't remember there being a plane there. And then halfway here is where I brake. I'm gonna go for a late apex. Missed it, wouldn't rotate through the middle. Again, did the same exact thing as last lap, because that's what it takes for me to ever get up to speed, because I'll do the same stuff 6 times in a row before I finally figure it out. A lot of it's just right now, just kind of feeling the car out and figuring out what it wants to do when it kind of gets the suspension compresses there. Kind of feeling how it wants to squirm around on me. Then getting ready, and then eventually, like, if you don't find something that works setup wise, you kind of get the muscle memory, and then you're almost ready for what the car's gonna throw at you too early of an apex in. But I'm kind of interested to see what I like. I noticed that on the last lap is even when I get out wide, I get back on the cast, the car wants to rotate really nicely through the exit of that corner. I don't have to worry about it pushing up and out. Now I'm trying to see how much curb I can take before I get a penalty there. Getting really close to where the road drops off there for a braking point. I might try it next lap just to see if that's where I can brake. Try and slow this corner down a little bit more than I did last time. See if I can get the front to bite down here. Get this. It really doesn't want to grab the asphalt right there. Oh my gosh, 3 laps in a row. Let's go. Had to go down a gear to get it to turn. Still ugly. But yeah, I keep going in there too. Like, I like my braking point, but I don't think I'm trail braking hard enough. Ooh. It's always kind of been a corner where you need to drop down to the lower gear, but I'm going to try the 4th gear and see if it works. Rear end's a little light, but again, I'm such a novice with my laps around here right now. It's hard for me to know how much of that is the actual setup off, or I'm not used to the car and the track. So that's why I like to just keep running laps as far as start making all kinds of setup adjustments. Man, I didn't remember being able to take that much curb back in the day, but probably hasn't changed. So yeah, right before that hill drops is a nice solid braking point. After that, if the car starts feel like it's a little bit lighter, can brake a little bit harder, you might be able to push a little bit more. And this guy, what do we got to do here? Alright, so we're about halfway into the half hour. I'm starting to get an idea what to do around the track now. It's a lot more about executing. It's a little bit better to see it doesn't want to turn in that middle part though. I'd really love it to rotate there. Really, that section's just trying to figure out what I can get away with and what when the car's gonna start smacking me. How much can I lean on it in there when it's in an awkward situation? See, I might experiment. I'm obviously gonna experiment more with that car. I might just try and keep a nice narrow line through there, or keep trying that late apex like so. Now this isn't getting so nice when I get on the gas through there. Like if I would have just mounted it right there, it kind of would have done like a lazy four-wheel slide. Take a lot of curb. Take a lot of curb. Going for late apex, but missed the whole thing there. Alright, now I'm gonna go for the optimal session lap. That really helps me pick up my lap times. All-time optimal session, optimal lap. Pretty good, pretty good. Got a good exit out of there. So I'd like to just be flat out through this whole section, but haven't figured the line out to do that yet. And then I was gonna try fourth, but I was way off line to do it. So you got like two options right now. You can take this nice narrow line like this, and then you just have to check down a little bit more and then carry your speed, or you can take that wide out and apex. I think the narrow line's better for when you're actually racing people and they're right on your bumper, and wide out line, late apex is probably better when you got some breathing room behind you. Alright, finally got a 1X. I don't think you can quite get to the one the road drops away from you for braking points. About a car length before that. I think you brake down there, you're gonna just keep on going, at least at this state of my knowledge of this entire situation this week. This is a relatively cool session too. I mean, the track is 97, but the ambient was like high 60s, mid to high 60s. Try fourth gear. Ooh, that wasn't a 1X? I'll be. So now we'll try the outside end line. So I had to kind of wait for the car to settle before I got back on the grass. I wasn't super aggressive with the gas, and it rotated through there nicely. It's gonna take a while to get that chicane figured out, but starting to get the general idea. This corner too. I haven't quite. These two corners are not my favorite, if I'm being perfectly honest. Just trying to get this late apex. Gosh, it's just right when it feels like it's gonna turn in, there's a bump there, and it just, like the front end just washes out. So maybe that could be a dampening thing. Oh, might be too fast. Might be a dampening thing I can work on. Yeah. There we go. So we do fourth gear through there. All right. Pretty good line. This section's gonna be all about finesse once you get the real speed out of it. Just being nice and light with your trail braking if you come up over the hill, getting back on the throttle. It's pretty much everything, at least with my style. So in 10 minutes, I'm just gonna try and see if I can get some speed out of it here. Halfway on our fuel. Get really focused on that exit. See, I was red all through entering middle, but I'm pulling on exit. There we go. Starting to find the speed through there. Okay, this is kind of in between the two lines what I did right there. I didn't go all the way out, I didn't go all the way in. That's kind of in the middle. Try to finesse this a little bit more, but see it washes out. Get on the gas, it actually does rotate. Not ideal, not ideal. Gonna be able to get make up a lot of time learning that chicane and just optimizing it, going through there a lot faster than you think you should. And it's big on the late apex with these last two corners, which can get you in trouble if somebody's right behind you. Arced it out a little bit more so I can try and get a better run off the corner. It's hard too because you can't see that apex, so it's all muscle memory. Come on, turn, baby. A little bit understeer through there. Had to wait for it to stop bouncing around there. It was the most aggressive I had been through there. It was successful. Here's where I'm starting to feel like I can brake a couple feet deeper, especially in those last two corners. This is where the car kind of feels like it's getting lighter and has a little more grip. I'm gonna try and widen it out and bring it in, but I missed it. It's too much speed entering middle. See, that was a pretty good line because I was able to... I kept it narrow on the left, so it gave me a good shot for the right, but I just kind of missed my turn in for the right. Like ideas of things I want to do to the car, but I still feel like I need a lot more laps before I start making adjustments. I just tend to have better results if I'm patient that way. So there I kind of broke a little bit deeper, but then I gave it all up because then I let up on the brake pedal. And then ended up going too far again. I just remembered I was going to show inputs and I didn't this entire video, so my apologies, because I don't even know what the hotkey button is. Is it I? Is it P? Ooh, it's P! What a guess. That's from 4 years ago, that guess. So my apologies for not doing that the whole video. Need a couple extra laps because of that. See, again, keeping it narrow there so I can get a better line there. Just too much speed on entry, missed my apex, pushed out wide. It's interesting because if you get that curb on the inside like you kind of want to, the car kind of pogos right now with the way the suspension is, so maybe I can make some adjustments to the dampers and can alleviate that a little bit. Ugh, I know how this car is when you get the cambers up like this, it does like that pogo a lot more. Alright, let's do 3 more laps. Just hit the 30-minute mark right now, so let's do 3 laps and see what we can do. I like the apex, I just don't like the way the car handled once I got there. Driver error. I think I'm gonna get that corner and then those bumps just say nope. Gosh. I backed up my braking so I'd be more conservative, and then all it is, I broke lighter going into the corner, so I ended up carrying more speed into the corner.
We're almost out of fuel, but it looks like we'll make it to the end.
Sets definitely needs work. It's understeer some places, oversteers others, but still need to do more random laps before I figure out how much of that's me and how much of that's the car. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almost got away with that. Alright, one more lap. Even get a 35. That was a pretty doggone good arc through there. I'll slow down. Oh, you muppet! Oh. Ah, it's frustrating. Just really like the way I got through that first left-hander because I had the front over the grass and the car kind of pushed out and went over the apex naturally. I had more speed than I'd ever carried through there before, for sure. Look at that, that's not a 1X? Jeez, that's crazy. Maybe just holding the bottom around that corner might be the way to go. Alrighty, well, basically you get the idea of how I warm up. I always like to take the, you know, it's kind of like the slow and fast out approach to corners, but it's just to get in warmed up, you know, go slower and then slowly build up your speed. See what the temperature of the track ended up being. Didn't really change at all. I think I went down a little bit. And, let's look at the tires real quick. So, it's actually pretty even front to back. That kind of makes sense because it is pushing some places, it is oversteering. These weren't perfect laps, so you can't take a lot from this. You kind of just grab general information, like I'm gonna go down a click on this right front because it's higher PSI in the left front, and this is a clockwise track, so it doesn't really make sense for that to be higher. And backs I'll just leave alone. They look pretty good. So, this isn't a set I'd share with you guys because I can never remember how to spell this. Is it I-N? Okay. Because I'm just doing a shakedown, you know, I'm just getting up to speed. I'll probably have to do another, how many laps was that? Half an hour. 17 laps, so I'd say I'm probably gonna have to do another 17 laps after this. Then I'll start maybe feeling good about making an adjustment to the car. I might do another 17 laps after that. Then at that point, I'll feel really confident about making an adjustment to the car. So maybe like another hour of just doing laps. And then I can start working on it from there. So, I don't know. I might do another video right after this one. Or I might just go put in like 34 laps and then say what adjustments I'm going to make. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will see you next time.